Hey y'all, it's Donnie here with a daily reading. So, what I want to say is that this is a time of working from the inside out instead of working from the outside in. And here's what I mean by that. I've already pulled my cards. Today we are using the Nightmare Before Christmas deck. I usually don't use this deck for collective readings, but I decided I wanted to use it today. And here's what has come out for the collective. The overall message is that taking the time to do the inner work, the imagining, the visualizing, the taking a beat to do some breath work, the taking the time to act things out, or through scripting, or through vision boarding, voice noting, you're able to ease the energy of having to stop and go, and bring more flow into the situation, bringing more flow into manifesting and reaching your goals. Okay, so here are the cards that came out. The first card we have is the Hermit. The second card we have out is the Ten of Potions. Third card out is the Ace of Presents. Okay, so let's start there. These three cards are saying that the pause to go inward. Okay, we also know that the Hermit is also still in tune with the inner child. The inner child is the one who's never forgotten their imagination, who hasn't forgotten how to play their way through. And play doesn't necessarily just mean frivolity, right? It means practicing feelings of already having received what it is that you're after, or that you're wanting to bring forward, manifest those things. So I feel as though that also with people who may be community workers and organizers, because that was coming up in this reading too. This is a time with the projects that you're working on. This is a time for you to see the results of what it is that you've been building, already having achieved them, or them already being successful. So if you are wanting a certain amount of people to show up, if you're needing certain resources, grants, all of that, practice the feeling of already having had those things achieved. Practice the result being here and what that feels like, was what was coming up a lot with this reading. And this is going to ease your ability to see results. Why? Because you're not just using your conscious skill set to reach the goal. This is for people who have practiced saying that I can do this, so I'm going to do this, I'm going to apply this, and then I'm going to get what I want, right? Physically, manually. This message is about, okay, but have you taken the time to bring more ease in by doing these internal workings first? Because your anxiety is the thing that's getting in the way. The worry is the thing that's getting in the way. And it's because you are wanting more immediate results from manual labor. And you're being guided here to take a different approach, all right? And this is what's going to ease that little stop and go energy that I was talking about in the beginning, basically. The next two cards that came out are the Seven of Needles and the Eight of Needles. That's these cards right here. So this way, the Seven of Needles and the Eight of Needles. Now the seven has to do with deception, and then you can see Sally here in the card for the Eight of Needles having to pull things in. So this is coming from the energy of you being deceived and thinking that this is the only way that things work, and this is the only way that I can get the results. I'm the only one who can get it done this way, and I have to be focused, and I have to make sure that all of these things are in order, or it's just gonna fall apart. But you're also kind of giving me the energy of having to reach into the arena and the lanes that aren't even yours, because you're having issues with giving up control. So you're being told to take this time to do that internal work too, because you're trusting now. You're being asked to trust and exercise more faith, and this is the way that you're going to have to do that in order to take you to that next level of being the boss or being the leader. This is a new level of leadership that you're stepping into with this, okay? And then we have the Six of Potions. So this is about old ways being re-examined so that you can be the one who is leveling up in the present, in so many words. Because we know with the Six of Potions, there's a lot of Scorpio energy here, and Scorpio has to do with deep levels of internal transformation so that the physical transformations can then also take place. If you think about Scorpio, the three archetypes of Scorpio. You have the scorpion, you have the eagle, and then you have the phoenix. So you're going from, the crawling Scorpio who is used to the ground level of things, and then you have the eagle who soars to these higher heights, and then you're raising that even higher with the phoenix who is able to transform out of those flames and move to a transcendent level of being. Okay, this comes from understanding how to gain this emotional satisfaction and this emotional stability, security, and fulfillment by taking the time to do the inner work. Okay, remember that traditionally the hermit carries the lantern, which is the inner light. So you're using that inner light to take you into that phoenix level. Okay, now after those cards came out, we got the moon and the chariot. Okay, so we understand that coming out of this new or this previous lunar eclipse energy, which is still in motion, by the way, the eclipses carry over for, they linger longer than just a regular full moon. So the transformative energy that's taking place here or that's being encouraged here has to do with a reveal. And I feel like what's being revealed is that this inner focus, the chariot being the focus, that inner focus is taking you to those transcendent levels, right? So making sure that once you are going within, just like with the hermit who traditionally has the lantern, let the moon energy illuminate what intuitive steps to take next are. All right, and then you have luminous full moons in both of these images, and I don't think that's a coincidence at all. All right, and we know that pulling in the reins gives you a certain type of focus that energy into how does this feel in my body, how does it feel in my gut, how does it feel in my heart, how does it feel to see it a certain way, how does it feel to speak this a certain way, how does it feel to assert myself imaginally first before I begin to execute this in the physical world. All right, now what follows that is the Four of Candles, the Knight of Candles, and then the Two of Candles. So coming out of that internal work is when you then begin to exercise the will. Okay, because the will here has to do with being able to celebrate the wins, being able to get used to having your will directed from the inside out versus the outside in. The Knight has that experience, okay? And then you're able to plan in a way to where now, instead of just saying, here's my physical skill and then this is what I'm going to do, now I'm focused in a way that says, okay, I see and know that this is what is going on and this is what I have planned and set, and so I'm doing it here now while I'm alone, while no one else is around, to where I can feel it in my body, so when I get up tomorrow, I'm moving in flow state. Okay, that's what that's about. And then the last card we have is the King of Pentacles. This is where you begin now to be used to receiving and manifesting and getting the results that you want and need. The king has already mastered this. The King of Pentacles has already mastered this ability. All right, but the king has that experience in the physical world of knowing what he has to do internally in order to get the tangible results. Okay, so I feel like you got this. I do want to say that this isn't something that you need to have mastered overnight. Take your time, practice, see which approach to working things from the inside out works for you. You may be somebody who needs to paint their way through it. You may be somebody who needs to write it down and journal their way through it. You may be someone who needs to practice acting it out alone in your room or alone in the bathroom or however you're going to do it. Practice those conversations or practice, how you feel in your body when you have the results that you need, or when this project comes to fruition, when you have all the results that you want for this big idea to come in. For some people, this could be just as simple as, okay, I know I want a house, I know I want a family, I know I need this car, or I know I need to make this move. You know what I'm saying? Whatever it is for you, the overall message is understanding that now is the time for you to commit to working from the inside out. All right? I appreciate y'all's time, attention, and energy. And I'm going to catch you on the next one. Okay? Peace.